All right. Hello, everybody. I'm Allegro. I usually do Bake the Cats, like speed runs usually, and whatnot. Now I'm going to be doing something even more cursed. Uh, so this is Wild Woody for the Sega CD. Um, and I want to say this is probably the first time this has been showcased in any marathon anywhere. So yeah. And yo, Shovel Claws is running this too. Oh man, poggers. But yeah, this is being played on medium difficulty as per what the usually constitutes. So, all right, I guess we get ready and go ahead and start on time. Three, two, one, go. So this game is pretty famous for its cutscenes, but sadly we're going to be skipping through pretty much all of them. The only one we're going to be able to catch is basically the end. But yeah, uh, since it's a Sega CD, they loved pushing the hardware with kind of 3D FMVs and whatnot. But uh, outside of it, it's just kind of a standard 2D platformer. Unfortunately, Woody does not control all too well. Uh, his weight to his jumps are just it's just abysmal. And here's one mechanic that also really sucks. It's ropes. Um, Usually just going to be jumping up to skip the climbing animation because it's pretty slow. I'm going to drop down here. I'm going to get a health pickup even though it's not necessary. I usually get hit by a shark or one of these pirates usually. Okay, the rope was kind of nice to me that time. Just grabbing the rope can be kind of annoying a lot of times. And that's pretty much the end of the first stage here. So yeah, there's a lot of long loading times. Most competition is done on emulator. This is actually being done on actual console, so I'm losing a bit of time just from just load times. But hey, you know what? Whatever. Okay, so in this stage, there's slopes everywhere. I typically do not want to be going down. I do not want to be walking down slopes. I kind of just want to jump down because for some reason game mechanics are like, yeah, going down slopes is totally just really slow, so we're just going to jump all the way down. Also, hopping in water is significantly faster than just kind of holding right. Also, plenty of sharks. Also, want to avoid these clamps that will get in my way, usually. These guys tend to be a problem in the boss coming up. So we're just going to drop that in here, and it's our first boss, Yo-Ho. It's a rapping pirate. So, yay. Too bad we don't get to hear what's going on here. So this kind of goes around with the central mechanic here is that you can erase enemies, and for the bosses you usually just need to hit their weak spot, which is just mainly their head, or there's some spots that are just like different. Some of these bosses will have like a jewel on the top of their head. And yeah, we've beat the first boss. Kind of sucks that don't stick around to listen to the rest of the song because it's kind of turns into a Fred Durst kind of rap, kind of new metal kind of song. It's really out there, but yeah. So this is the one of the first stages that gets a little bit up there in difficulty, but a lot of tight jumps. And there's a platform cycle I kind of want to hit kind of early on here. Since this is a maze, there's kind of like teleporters you're supposed to take and whatnot, but once you know your way through, it's kind of straightforward. And you're going to basically erase these pots. It's going to erase these different surfaces that you need to get through. This game's not very clear where you're supposed to be erasing stuff, and sometimes the game just does not let you erase things because I think it's just a straight up loading problem with the game. So it's very strange anomalies with this game. So got some more ropes here. You can make that platform up there, but it's really tight. So I'm gonna grab some health pickups when I can. That's not a good cycle there. This should be good. Okay, there we go. platform cycles there can get a little desynced if I'm not careful. Alright, and this is a section where it does not tell you where you're supposed to erase, but yeah, you just find that spot right there, you can just kind of drop down. So shoutouts to the music. This was actually composed by Ron Thal, who, if may or may not know, who ended up being the guitarist for Guns N' Roses like in the mid to late 2000s. So yeah, there's that fun fact for you. Alright, so we're going to be progressing through this stage normally here. Usually I accidentally hold right there and go down that pit, and that's kind of a time loss, but thankfully I stopped myself from doing so. So I've had pretty good health management. Usually here I want to make sure I'm got high enough health. And this is the section I'm kind of referring to where the game might not cooperate with me as to whether or not walls will be erased. Okay, that's 2 down. Sometimes this one doesn't unload. I can try this one now. Yeah, there we go. Sometimes one wall won't erase for you quick enough, or you might just have to go to a different one. So right here, this one's not wanting to load, so I'm going to go off screen, see if it'll get it. There we go. Yeah, I don't know what's up with this stage. It's kind of weird. Okay. Let's try it again. There we go. Yeah, I don't know if that's just a straight up hardware issue or that's just something, just some weird quirk with the game. Alright, so we're on to the next stage in this kind of Greek-inspired zone with Mount Olympus. If I was fast enough with the platforms there, I would be able to hit this cloud cycle, but that's fine. It's not a huge deal. So yeah, the platforming in this game can get a little weird, especially when you're close up to the edges of the walls. Woody will just sometimes just not go up all the way, and it'll just kind of get blocked. So right here, I had to wait for another cycle. And I also have to keep jumping here on these platforms, or else Woody will kind of sink through, which kind of sucks. So I have to be pretty fast with my jumps here. Okay. You can actually make it up to there. There we go. There's some really tight jumps like that throughout. It's right here. I'm just gonna be safe there and... Oh, that's no bueno. Okay, I gotta wait here again. Okay, yeah. So hopping up to that cloud can be a bit of a pain. And fine, strike again. Where am I? I'm actually kind of confused where I am. Okay, I know where I am. That sucks. Okay. I really can't afford to take much of a hit right now, because I am not in a... I'm not really close to any health. There we go. Okay, okay. There we go. Okay, we should be safe for the remainder of the stage. Alright. So... Okay, I'm just going to pick up that extra life just in case. There's going to be a boss later that's going to be kind of a pain if I'm not careful. This is definitely one of the hardest stages to get through in the entire game. I want to get rid of that guy just for safety. Okay, I should be safe at this point. Alright. It's just the barrage of enemies, and we're basically at the end of here. There we go. That was a bit of a slow stage, but hey, it works. Alright, so this is probably the second hardest boss in the game. I'm going to try and go for this right here. No, okay. If I jump off the cloud platform at the correct time there, I can basically hit the jewel. But I'm just going to probably have to play it safe and ride the cloud. Also, this stage is actually playing the incorrect music. It's actually playing... That's the jump I kind of want to get right there, but the stage is actually playing the incorrect music for some reason. Okay, I thought I'd try it again, but that sucks. Just have to wait for the next cloud cycle. Just be safe. Alright. 4 hits down, and the boss is down. So basically the plot of the story is I'm basically having to recover these totem poles. And these pieces of the totem pole that broke apart, and the low man of the totem pole basically brought us to life to recover them. It's really weird. You'd have to be watching the cutscenes to get it. So this is the industrial stage, and this is the first time we're going to be using the sketchbook ability. That sketchbook pickup I get is just for this firework, and that's pretty much one of the only times I'm going to be doing this in the entire run. There's a couple instances where I will need it, but yeah, this stage is pretty straightforward. I just have to basically watch my health. And one thing that's kind of important in terms of movement-wise, I usually want to be jumping through enemies rather than just... Oh, that's interesting. I've never not gotten that pickup before. Okay, that's fine. But yeah, when Woody uses up the sketch ability, he actually gets a little bit shorter, but it really doesn't affect his platforming ability, surprisingly. And you basically only have 2 tries, or 2 uses, before you can have to get another pickup to restore his length. So here I'm gonna... Oh, I thought he would have picked it. Okay, never mind. He usually picks up a length restored there. So right here I usually want to be very careful about my health here, because it's just a gauntlet of enemies that I just have to barrel through. But I'm good. So we're basically at the end of the stage here. Yep. And that's the pickup I was talking about, where you can restore his length. Yeah, it's teleport to the end right there. Alright, so this next stage is probably one of the toughest platforming-wise, because there's these moving conveyor belts, and you have to basically jump off at certain points. And okay. Ropes being kind of a pain. Okay. There we go. I'm gonna get rid of this guy just for safety. And these conveyor belts themselves can be kind of tricky to maneuver, but it's fine. Made it through. Follow this path down here. Basically, I'm just going to wrap to the top of the stage, and then I'm going to immediately drop all the way down. This one, I don't need to worry about health too much. Even though I do have to run through a whole barrage of enemies and have to go through these weird chemical traps, but it's perfectly fine. The chemicals, like it's basically kind of like lava or whatever, but it really doesn't take that much damage off of you. So I just gotta wait for this platform cycle. Okay, and here I need to activate the switch in order for me to access the end of the stage, which is right around here. Just drop down, and there we go. There's an electrical barrier that I need to basically disable there. Alright, and this is probably the easiest boss in the entire game. The Meanie Techno Weenie. Oops, I accidentally hit the switch too early. There we go. Alright, so basically just kind of jump up, wait until this flips. There we go. I did it way too early last time. Just take 4 hits here. And it's a possibility I can crash this boss fight, but basically I have to die after the final hit, and then grab the totem piece. If you try to do that, because the game basically carries over boss health from every time you die. It's like, oh, you took 2 hits off? Well, there's only 2 hits left after you respawn. Alright, so this is the Alien Homeworld, which is probably the most broken stage in the game. There's actually an actual skip that we can take advantage of. I do want to pick up this checkpoint just in case there's a chance I could fall in a place I don't want to be at. But right here, if I get this correctly, you basically can clip... There we go. Got it, second try. That is really good. That clip can be really difficult to get. I was kind of worried about that one going into this, but hey, there we go. That's actually much better than what I got in my PB. Alright, so now we're on to the second act, where basically in this one I need to actually pick up these sketch pads. I need to pick up 2 specifically, because it will be necessary for me to... Oh, okay, that was weird. But yeah, we gotta deal with these gravity sections where basically kind of have to slowly inch my way through here. I need to be very careful and not take too much health off. That's not really good. Okay, I'll be safe with that. But yeah, this is kind of another weird maze level with more teleporters in it, but I'm gonna drop down here, take some damage there. These ropes can be kind of finicky, but there we go. Got another wall there. And now this is like, choose a pit. I'm going to choose the far right one because I can get an extra health pickup, which is much safer. If you want it to be faster, you need to take the second to last one, but I always get the last one because usually health is much more important right about now. Okay, I want to thread the needle here. There we go. Alright, so right here I'm going to use sketches here. I want to use these up because I want to get Woody down to a certain height. So yeah, sketchbooks were mostly useless aside from this one specific instance. Right there, I don't want to pick that that health restorative up. Alright, and that's basically it. That's the end of that stage. Now we're on to basically the hardest boss in the game. I've honestly been struggling with this in practice today, but let's see how this goes. This is the alien love nest. Yeah, okay, so sometimes Woody just does not want to erase the head here. It's okay if I die, honestly. Woody is not wanting to cooperate. I couldn't even get a single hit in. Classic. That didn't take in the hit because the little aliens spawned in instead. Cool. Oh my goodness. You want to talk about how bad the mechanics are in this game? This is the perfect example of how bad this game can get. Good grief. I usually don't have this much trouble. Yep. Thankfully, the health has been carried over. Oh my goodness. That's only one hit in, or 2 hits in. I have backups just in case. Oh my goodness. Okay. This is going to be a little tight on lives, but as long as I get through the next stage unscathed, then I should be fine for the rest of the game. Because this, it's either this or the infested level that is the hardest level to deal with. This one's just kind of another kind of annoying maze, but they throw a lot of enemies at you. There's a lot of like these really annoying chihuahuas, undead chihuahuas, which is I guess is the worst kind of chihuahua to deal with. I usually want to try and pick up health wherever I can. There's some really tight bits of platforming throughout. Okay. That's one of the tougher ones to hit there. On those kind of greenish kind of platforms, it's basically kind of like ice, where it's pretty slippery. And it can be really difficult to jump, especially when there's there's gonna be a certain section coming up where I have to go through like a bunch of them all in a row and not fall down. This is one of them right here and right there. I messed that up. There we go. I do want to get that health right there. Alright, so we're basically at the midway point here on this stage. I just need to be careful and not drop down certain spots, or else I'll be stuck on a really long path. I want that, please. Okay. Trying to be careful there. I don't want to lose too much health. Again, ropes being really difficult to deal with. This is the section I was talking about. There we go. That is deceptively hard to time the jumps with. Alright, and we're basically at the end of the stage here. Just need to go through one more little section here with the rope, and yeah. Alright, surprisingly, the next stage is the easiest in the entire game. If you can believe that. It's very short, and just it's nothing compared to the previous stage. Basically, it's kind of a Doom-inspired level. But yeah, there's really not a whole lot. These enemies don't really stand much of a threat. It's just mostly down to having good rope, chain movement. Pick up health there. This platforming can be a little bit finicky, because if you run up against the wall, you'll lose a lot of speed. Alright, so here is supposed to be like the harder section, where it's, if you touch the lava there, it's you lose a life, but thankfully the game's actually pretty generous and gives you one. And we just need to climb up this chain here, and that's the end of the stage. Pretty straightforward. And unlike being straightforward, this is the weirdest boss in the entire game. It's a floating green monkey that's protecting a toilet, that's just wearing some army helmet with a paddle. Basically monkey flush. You basically had to run around the entire stage and have the monkey chase you around, and have the antenna hit the lever on the toilet, which I have no words as to who came up with that idea for this final boss. But yeah, you never really attack the final boss. And time's coming up right now. And yeah, that was Wild Woody. So I'll let you guys enjoy this glorious cutscene, since we didn't get to watch many of them.
Man, it's good to be home.
Woody, I can't believe it. You're sharper than I thought. You did it.
Yeah, what I did was bust a gut.
Cheer up. You just saved the universe. Once you toss Tombstone on top, I'll put these bozos back on ice. But first, you deserve a reward. Anything you want, pal, you name it. You want to be king of the world? Super powerful. A rock and roll star.
Those all sound mighty tempting. But I've got a different idea.
You got it, pal. Just toss Tombstone up, and you'll get your wish.
I am all-powerful, young pencil. You shall not defeat me!
Sorry, pal, but it's game over. Woody's got the rock and time's running out. He's at the top of the key. 3, 2, 1. He shoots. It's good!
Thanks again, Woody. I'll see you next time the world needs saving.
Yeah, only if we sell a zillion units.
Now for your wish.
Oh, so that's why they call him Wild Woody. Oh. Okay. But yeah, that was a fun run. Thank y'all for watching. And yeah,